Hello gamers, today we're going to be looking at tweets from reputable people in the Smash community and seeing their opinions on the situation that has been going down for the past week involving sexual assault and people getting outed. So without further ado, let's get into it. I hope you guys enjoy. MK Leo tweets, I've been traveling to the US since I was 14 and I actually never thought things like this were happening in the community. Fortunately, my brother traveled with me to every single tournament before turning 18. He still travels with me sometimes. I remember he always told me to be careful with everyone since we didn't really know them. Nothing happened to me back then thanks to that. Unfortunately, some of you had to go through this and that's why I'm running this. I know it's pretty hard to travel with an adult every time, but that definitely would be the best when you are traveling to a major far from your local scene. With that said, if you ever feel alone, unsafe, or uncomfortable, you can always come say hi and we can hang out. I really hope we can find an answer for this. Dark Wizzy says, I love Leo, man. Showing a screenshot of Leo saying in his community Discord, okay, everyone, I realize there's a lot of new people in this server. I know that we are not in the best situation with everything happening right now. Myself, mods, and every single member of this server will make you feel safe and comfortable. We gotta build this community even bigger and support each other in these times. We should move on and stay together so these things never happen again. Appreciate every single one of you. Dark Wizzy says, keep in mind, many in the community are kids. We need to make sure they're safe, and we as adults need to not be doing inappropriate and illegal things with them. It's not hard. Not saying you can't have young peers, but as an adult, you need to keep in mind you have responsibilities. Quote tweeting Suar, who said, in Smash, a 15-year-old can be your peer as you're an adult in your 20s. Realize that in nearly every other industry, workplace, and institution, this is never seen. Extreme caution and care needs to be taken given that fact. Mr. R Smash tweets, everyone gets manipulated so easily, myself included. You'd think we'd learn a thing or two after the zero twit longer, but nope, people are still convinced some of their idols are 100% good. Well, not me. I'm done believing in anyone anymore unless they're my closest friends. Vicky tweets, it feels weird to think how I try to get my 16-year-old sister into Smash so she could travel with me and compete with me at events. Sad to say, I'm glad she never got into the community that way and she stayed involved with Overwatch. I feel like I failed the parents and older siblings of the victims because they trusted their kids would be safe at our events. I feel like this week has been a call to action for me and many other members in the Smash community that can help make a difference. How could you run an event and not guarantee the safety of your attendees? Things will be changing from here on within the community. Omni from Lay It On Me tweets, I just want to clear one thing up. You are allowed to have role models and look up to people. Aspire and be motivated by them. Trust them, no problem with that. But no person is exempt from doing bad things. Don't let your admiration blind you from the fact that we are all human. Yes sir, Omni did not miss. Lip emoji, eye emoji, lip emoji, liquid da buzz, lip emoji, eye emoji says, I just woke up. Well, that's it, I guess, I hope. The brawl scene that became the Smash 4 scene really was cursed. It shouldn't need to be praised, but shout out to the people that didn't become creeps. Something that's on my mind is how to educate appropriate conduct without relying on A, role models that will be idolized to dangerous levels, and B, people being punished as examples of bad behavior. A trend of these big name abusers is that they are brawl people didn't have good Smash role models to teach them what's acceptable. In my opinion, they saw people brag about their grown numbers or mingle with people not in an age group, underage drink, see no repercussion and think it's okay, or the abuser is that role model and has the power to do what they want and abuse it. Seeing others fall or being the victim of a fall is a great way to show, hey, don't do this, but it's a toxic cycle. Statements like don't flirt with minors should be easy to follow, but how do you educate someone on where the line is between normal conversation and flirting? What are the signs? Best responses? How about explaining power imbalances in relationships? It's really easy sometimes, and other times things are in a gray area. I don't have a solution, and these events will be stories we point to, but this is the best we can do. Last thing, how do we preemptively and fairly identify bad actors who know what they are doing to keep everyone safe? It's 4 a.m. This has been on my mind. I don't know if it makes sense. I just felt the need to vent. Saying don't let a figurehead take advantage of you is obvious on paper, but easy to not realize it is happening. Maybe guidelines to state what is normal and acceptable behavior versus what is a red flag could be of use. It would be a work, but that might be a real usable resource, but that might lead to being used to game the system. So it's something I'm debating in terms of viability. That is something that we here, me, Deja, not reading the buzzer tweets anymore, tried to accomplish with the Zero video and the M2K video, where we kind of just drift off from the main topic of those two people and talk about their backstories and going forward in the future with what we know now. Okami says, Smash is not dead. People in leadership positions had been working tirelessly since this all-star to find ways to make tournaments safe when they start up again. They're dedicated building it back up from the ground. MK Leo quotes it and says, I don't believe Smash is dead. This is definitely a new start, a new era. I know it's been tough, but pretty sure TOs will listen to us. I hope when tournaments come back, but I do agree you should try to do other things in quarantine as well. And of course we got to do something after all of this. The Smash community is in a bad position right now, but we got to show that our love for this game is bigger than this. Leffen says, I want to be clear with something. I understand you are all angry at the people who betrayed everyone's trust, but do not viciously harass them and send death threats to them because of it. Two wrongs do not make a right. Of course it is much more important to make sure the survivors are priority number one, but yeah, don't be assholes just because you can. I do still think they are redeemable as humans, but it would take a long time and it should not happen within the Smash community ever. In general, I do not believe in making people irredeemable, because at that point these people have absolutely no incentive to try and change. And this is something I said myself as well, where people can come back, people can redeem themselves. That doesn't mean we're going to accept them. And then Leffen goes on to say, any comment that I started the rumor about M2K is false. I was streaming and people posted his name in the chat and I posted asking about it. The VOD is here and you can check. Very brave for M2K to go out and say what he said. I feel extremely bad for him. Tempo Axe tweets, I wish I could find the words to describe this heavy distraught feeling that I'm having. There are friends who I can trust, which I'm very thankful for, but when you learn others you look up to end up being bad people, it hurts. It's so sad. It's impossible to sleep. Armada says, talked about it a little on stream earlier. To all those people that have come forward, you all have helped making the scene better. The scene needs a massive change and everyone needs to try their best to make it safer. I'm not sure what all the answers are, but with no tournament at the moment, it's a good time to prepare for what changes need to be done. I've seen some suggestions so far, but probably people with many great ideas to add. SFAT says, man, the heaviness of the timeline this last month has been extreme. Engaging in this discomfort will only make our communities grow stronger though. I'm grateful I had a safe environment as a 12-year-old growing up in Smash, and I hope to provide that to all others as well. It's pretty freaking simple. Don't be a pedophile, don't sexually assault people, be mindful to social situations, respect people's boundaries, and respect when people are expressing discomfort either physically or verbally. That's the blueprint of being a decent human being. Let's go, SFAT. Mango says, I can't believe what's happening. I'm sorry to everybody who's gone through any of this. I'll post more about it later. I'm thinking I'm getting off the internet for today and no stream or anything. I love America, but can't get into the fourth mood. Feel like COVID brought us time to think about how terrible things are so we can fix. I will be a proud American one day. I will be proud of the Smash community one day time. And if you don't know, being an American, I don't even know if it's ironic or unironic at this point, but you know, the American flag, the Eagles, all that are a part of Mango's identity and brand and, you know, sense of humor. So him not caring about the fourth is pretty interesting. Hungry Rock says, this has been one of the heaviest days in the Smash community for me and many others. It's hard to believe anymore. I think Leffen put it best. This isn't a bad week in the community, but rather a good one, because it's one that has been needed for a long time. It's been difficult for me to absorb because so many of these people were there for me during my lowest points of suffering. The crab incident, the depression that followed the SmashCon watch incident, and many others. My questions are these: what changes are necessary for future events? What can we do to bring this community back to a place of comfort and safety? How can we use our platforms to ensure this? Gavin Dempsey Tweak SSB says, I have been friends with Zach since I was around 13 or 14 years old. I've always supported Zach and I've always tried to give him the best advice that I could. When these events transpired, I tried to give it good advice then, as did others in our friend group. At the time, I even privately expressed my concerns to adults. It was Zach who did not want to pursue anything at the time, but if I'm asked to support him further, then I'm going to. That is the full extent of anything I have to do with this situation up to this point. I think my original post was misunderstood, so I'm clarifying things a little further. Pleb says, I really do hope the Smash community and video game communities in general become a safer place since all of this is surfaced. Also, how do people even live with themselves after doing such heinous things? Dark times, sad face, sad face. Toph says, I'm going to step further away and say I will not be working with Evo moving forward any year in any capacity until I can rest assured that the rest of the people running that joint weren't just enabling Mr. Wiz's predatory ways. What kind of apology is this, Joey? Showing a screenshot of Mr. Wiz Joey mocking his victim who came out about his sexual harassment. Toph continues continues, burn the whole thing to the ground. Heck, Evo, the more I hear from the FGC OGs, the more it sounds like there was a systematic cover-up going on for this dude. I'm so mad. On top of all this, let me tell y'all about the only interaction I've ever had IRL with Mr. Joey Wizard, last name I cannot pronounce. Evo 2013 or 2014. It must have been one of the first times Melee was at Evo. Me and Bobby Scar, were getting ready to commentate top 8. We were already seated at the commentary desk. It was almost time for mic checks and all that jazz. Mr. Wizard comes up to us, doesn't greet us or anything, just looks at us with this death glare and says, "You guys better do a good freaking job." It wasn't a joke. He walked off. What kind of professional way is that to talk to the people you hired? I've done Evo for years in spite of this D-bag and not otherwise. I always said, well, heck, Mr. Wizard, but Evo is a special tournament for the community. The other guys who run it make it all worth it in the end. That's clearly not good enough any longer. Just got done reading these DMs that Mr. Wizard insists a smear campaign. Lol. 2, I encourage my followers to check this out and come to your own conclusion. Peace out, guys. Showing a screenshot of Joey asking somebody for a pic of them in their underwear and asking what size boxers they wear and to email it to his business email. Interesting. March 4th, 2013. Anyone, Tweak, Salem, etc. who knew about the stuff with Zach and Nairo was going on may have committed a felony depending on state laws. Many of you should probably be lawyering up right now, showing a screenshot of the 2019 Florida statutes that talk about knowing about child abuse. If that child was abused by any adult other than a parent, legal custodian, caregiver, or other person responsible for the child's, I believe that word is welfare, as defined in this chapter, shall report such knowledge or suspicion to the department. ECM says, I'm freaking disgusted. I'm so sorry to any victims coming forward that people like Zero and other abusers were role models. Quote tweeting Zero's latest statement, coming clean and admitting to everything, including the ice. ECM says, I personally looked up to Nairo for so long and literally always complimented how well he was succeeding and how he was a great leader and role model and what I aspired to be like. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I stand with all the victims. TK Breezy says, I will say this, when I was younger, Brawl Days 1822, I'm sure I've done some dumb stuff. I'm not necessarily mad that these people have done stupid things, just more so that they didn't grow out of it. A lot of us pushing 30s or older, grow the frick up. I'm not even close to the person that I was when I first started attending tournaments. Stuff that was cool before is definitely not cool now. Age definitely matters, and I don't care about legality. Being 30, you shouldn't be looking at fresh 18-year-olds for any reason. We have failed the younger community, and I am forever upset about this. We have adults that aren't adults, and it's infuriating. We need to do better in the future. Let's go, Breezy. Yes, sir. MVD at Quarantine MVD 713 says, stop telling people to tell victim stories without their consent. That was annoying. Don't know why I did that. The proper way to go about it is to support victims and try to give them the courage and strength to come forward with their truth. For those asking about minors and legality behind it, I don't know the laws well enough to have an opinion on them, so I'm sorry I cannot respond to that. Quote tweeting Zero's latest response, MVD says, he flat out lied several times to save face, selfish and non-remorseful until the very end, I guess, and there is more to come. I hope his fan base doesn't continue to attack those who came forward against him. Fix post for my misquote. For the record, as somebody who used to be one of his best friends, I'm confident in saying he is actively trying to not lose his sponsors and that he just made a typo. Again, this is my opinion and perspective, and I definitely can be wrong about it. In Zero's latest post, he goes on and saying he was trying to get his sponsors removed for him as his own punishment to himself for his past actions, and MVD is basically saying he doubts Zero will actually go through with this. MVD also says, I've been taking a break today compared to the last couple days. I'm still here if anyone wants to talk. I'm just slower to check DMs. Take a break if you need to and rest up and take care of your mental health. Everyone, love you all. Let's go, MVD. Void says, I just don't know what to say anymore. Can't believe you doubled down. Can't believe you did what you did. Can't believe the community will be better because of this, talking about Zero's latest statement. I'm happy that there are people that are so amazing at understanding the situation and speaking out. As someone who can't always find words, I really do appreciate it. Currently watching Coney stream his thoughts and always appreciative of what Leffen is saying as well. There are so many others and I'm not going to make a massive list, but these two are the first that come to mind. A lot of people are taking strong action towards already bettering the community and being very understanding during it. So much respect to you guys. I've been seeing a lot of people arguing technicalities and it's super frustrating to me. Listen and understand, please. It takes a lot of courage to speak out about these things. There is no black and white to how people feel. On the flip side, if I've had a negative experience with you or made you feel uncomfortable or unwelcomed at an event, let me know. It's tough, but change starts from within. I'm willing to listen, whether it's in DMs, a call, or a reply. Let's go, Void. Alpharad says, I'm sorry for not being vocal about these pressing issues as I would like to be. Since 2018, I've been attending therapy to work through my own abuse-related trauma. This week has been hard since it's causing additional memories to surface that I've unknowingly repressed. I've been struggling to eat regularly since my stomach can't handle it. I can't sleep because I have nightmares of another friend being outed as a predator. I may not be brave enough to talk about my own experiences, but will continue to give platform to those who are. I really wish I could be someone to constantly speak out, but I just don't have the energy as my mental state has been spiraling. Nevertheless, please support the victims in this trying time, so please just be good to each other. Larry says, my thoughts on everything that's been happening. Regarding everything that's been happening lately, I think it's horrible hearing these things, but it's what's needed to make an environment where everyone feels more safe and people understand that their actions have consequences. My issue regarding everything is that I feel more legal action should be taking place because for some people, simply banning them isn't punishment enough. I'm not a legal expert, so I do not know how reasonable that is to do in some circumstances, and also understand that some people may not want to go through the stress of doing that. I feel as though the Smash community has a tendency of bandwagoning on what everyone is saying on social media without actually looking deeper into things and spreading it. In some cases, it's very good because the truth has the potential to spread exceptionally fast, but the problem is it's very easy for lies or people with bigger voices to intercept things. There are some cases where it's blatantly who is at fault, but others are more difficult to determine. If you have the proof and the means to do so, I highly recommend taking legal action and not letting a video game community decide someone's punishment. Yes sir, let's go Larry Lur. Leffen says, Zero messaged me just now trying to talk to me privately. I refused. See the tweet below. Number one, he is not actually taking a break from the internet. Number two, this is not about me versus him. This is about what he did to underage girls. I will be trying to distance myself from this situation now, and showing a screenshot of Zero direct messaging him saying, hey man, could I talk to you at least? Mars says, I'm terrible with words, keep coming to tweet but nothing. I want to talk about me, but the voices of the victims should be louder than mine. What does matter is respecting and listening to them, also holding those in questions accountable for their action. This needs to happen. Wadi says, just for clarification, me and Cinnamon haven't been together since the end of last year. She currently doesn't live with me. If you don't know, Wadi and Cinnamon were together for some time. Cosmos says, the past couple of days have been very shocking and emotionally difficult for us at the loft to take in. We are currently having a rough time processing what has been happening recently, but we will be making a statement tomorrow. Dark Wizzy says, people that are dumb enough to say that someone is doing something good for clout are so ignorant and annoying. It's ignorant always, but do you even see the state of the community right now? Sam Stora says, can't even play Smash without being reminded of Nairo every single second. Just give me time please, and take as much time as you need to recover as well. Brish SSB says, when I say telling your followers not to attack someone isn't enough, I mean we need to tackle and dismantle the issue of the streamer player idolization. Here's a clip of Leffen doing exactly that, showing a video of Leffen on his live stream saying this.
Yeah, I also agree that saying you stan, while I appreciate it if it's about me, I still think it's bad. You should hold me accountable. If I'm not entertaining, don't watch me. I'm not your friend. I'm an entertainer. I'm a pro player. You shouldn't assume that I am a top. Just because I'm a top player, that I'm a top person. That I'm a great person, because you don't know me.
That is it for the videos, gamers. I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, remember, always speak up and voice your opinions. If I'm doing a terrible job, please verbally assault me down below and tell me why I'm dumb. I hate myself, and as always, I'm a dumbass. I love you guys, and I will see you very soon. And yeah, thank you everybody for speaking up. We love you. Yeah, all right, peace.